the match right now, where we're going to get ready for a great one. And we're back at Hilton Coliseum for the meet between Iowa State and Iowa, where Iowa leads 13-3 after intermission. But this is a great match between Paulson and Johnston. Paulson and Johnston have met 4 times before. Johnston 0-4 against Paulson, but Johnston, Joe Johnston from Iowa, was the national runner-up, and so he has finished higher than Paulson in the past in the NCAAs.
Well, Johnston is kind of a giant killer. He's had 2 wins over returning national champions, and he had the big win last year over Alex Tirapelli, I believe in the semifinals of the national quarterfinals of the national tournament. So he's the one that had the hot tournament, and Trent Paulson did not place in that tournament last year after placing the weight class lower.
Johnston, a senior from Prairie Village, Kansas, Shawnee Mission East High School, and he was a 2-time state champion there, and an NCAA runner-up in 2005, this past year, going against Trent Paulson, one of 2 Paulsons in the lineup for the Iowa State Cyclones. And we'll see Travis next at 165. Trent and Travis from Council Bluffs, Iowa, Lewis Central High School, coached by Keith Massey.
Watch your head. Got him, coach. Watch his head. Watch your heads, guys. Watch your heads.
Not a lot of actual maneuvers, but lots of action here. A little bit of good hand fighting, but both wrestlers are pretty stymied right now.
Well, both guys do a great job of keeping position, and any little inch or 2 here with the head and get in the corner. Now that you saw Johnston get to the corner off of that over and under tie. But I think he wants to keep a high pace in here, Dan. You kind of mentioned that before, as he wants to keep a high pace, because if this thing goes 0-0 into the second period, making it a 4-minute match, I think it favors Paulson.
Well, Paulson, like I said, is 4-0 against Johnston. Johnston, the national runner-up, but Paulson doesn't give him any thing to put up on the walls, because he said in the paper, he says, I think Joe Johnston's a stud, and I respect him highly as a wrestler. Every time I wrestle him, it's a battle for 7 minutes straight. I know if I want to win, I'm going to have to give everything I got. And so that's showing a lot of respect. He knows that Joe Johnston always comes at you, and that's what I've always loved about watching this Hawkeye wrestle.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it here, and it's nice to see 2 guys go out there and have great respect for each other, and also go out there and give us a good show.
0-0, 35 seconds left in the first period of this 157-pound match. If you're just joining us, we're 5 matches in. It's 13-3. Hawkeyes over the Cyclones.
And both athletes have done a good job of warding off some of the best stuff that they have to offer. Paulson looking for the inside trip on Johnston's left leg. See that left leg that's right towards us right now. And Paulson has done a nice job of stopping Johnston's offense.
Pulling him up good and underhooking him and getting his hips into him. He's not hitting him at where he can pick him up, not getting his hips under. Difficult.
We started at heavyweight tonight, and we are making our way back to 197 pounds, which is our quote-unquote heavyweight match tonight.
And that's a big decision, and
Iowa has given a lot of those, but they've been in a position here earlier to be able to make those decisions on the neutral position. But this one, is a crucial 1 point when there's a 2 pretty evenly matched wrestlers.
Yeah, that means that Johnston's got to particularly be aggressive in that on the feet. Either make it up with pushing and getting a stall warning, but you kind of come and be aggressive. If you want to be on your feet here and you didn't go down, not confident in the down position, you got to be ultra aggressive here.
Nobody's really came close to scoring yet. There's been a lot of semi-action.
Right there, Paulson is.
Who got called?
Warning on Paulson. And I agree with what was happening there, because Paulson basically just going to put a double collar tie up and was just going to freeze him. Just going to freeze Johnston's motion. He knows he has the advantage here.
It depends on, what takes place here. If Johnston backs up much, he'll get this comparable call. But he's doing a good job of keeping that call. Even though he hits a couple back steps, he's coming back into him. And doing shots like that. There's a good shot, but kind of fell down a little bit.
Hook the leg, that's 2.
Oh boy, he's on his back too, and he's losing back point. I don't think they called it.
Nope, they did not yet. And
no, I think he only had
Mike
one
Allen,
count.
very emphatic.
Yeah.
One count,
One
so it's
count.
2-0.
But I tell you what,
still in.
he's got the leg.
But it's not a Turk. It's just a ride type thing, unless you can get the weight onto the right side, which he doesn't have it yet.
But Paulson wins the scramble, and they haven't put the 2 points up yet.
Well, they just made a mistake there. They're just waiting.
But it's really got the students into it, Dan.
They just didn't understand why the points aren't up, but they will be. They just didn't see the signal. He may not even have signaled for the points because of the idea of how he's trying to call him. He didn't have.
Now, Paulson did a nice job of realizing where he was. He was coming up. It's 2-0 after the second period. On the strength of Paulson's.
Look at the sequence there. A shot by Paulson, the first one, and Johnston kind of reached over for the pick, but he never got to the corner.
Well, he didn't bring his legs under him.
Yeah.
He reached, but he forgot to bring his legs, and Paulson did a good job of hitting him and knocking him down. So
I think it was a good call by Mike Allen. There wasn't more than a 1 count there. So 2-0.
Let's see what he.
You got 2 points taped down. No near fall.
Let's see what he
Get the
shows
riding
here.
time straight,
what are they trying to talk about? They kept talking about
no
the
near
back.
fall. About 40 seconds of riding time.
Yeah.
Riding
about
time.
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
And announce
Right.
it. And announce it. We're getting the 40, coach. We're getting the riding time. It's 40
Yeah,
seconds.
that's the
riding
big
time.
thing is what the riding time was.
Thanks,
And
coach.
They didn't catch, like we said, they didn't see the signal for the takedown, so they didn't put the points up and they didn't start the riding time.
yeah, and if I recall, that clock automatically goes to riding time once you put the takedown
Right.
on.
We got her. Coach, we got her. We
experience
got
of
her. No
being in the
near fall,
corner there,
coach.
but,
no near fall, guys,
they got the
okay?
correct
Neutral,
riding
okay?
time up right
No
now.
near fall points,
42
okay?
seconds.
There's your score.
Paulson
Go.
is going down.
One thing that also happens here, I know at Hilton Coliseum, they have somebody right there with the stopwatch. If there's a question there, they'll go hit the watch. And
Run.
Paulson went down.
He has been warned.
Joe Johnston
It's a
let him
nice
up.
shot, but he's hanging on to it and comes across, and it's pretty good action here. Pretty good action by
There's the 2.
Paulson.
And there's the eruption from the Cyclone crowd. Things start great for the Cyclones after the intermission.
well, you 5-0 lead here, and you've got a chance to build riding time. So, you know,
Pretty close.
you know, Johnston's going to come at him. This match is not over with here. Now you see Paulson on the low shot. Now he reaches over and gets the 2, and really Johnston bails out at that point.
Caution.
You got to give credit to
You gotta
Paulson
come
on that
quicker,
shot.
okay?
He did a good job of shooting and then staying in there and finishing across the other side.
Go.
But again, when you get a takedown here with and don't have an escape answer it, you have a 3-0 lead. You can afford to be aggressive and still have the lead, you know, if you get taken down. So I like what he did. He was aggressive.
And you talked about riding time. He has it now. Over a minute riding time.
He's
on top
tough
and
on
piling
top,
it up.
too. He's getting a little bit off to the side there a little bit.
Well, I think he's baiting Johnston and maybe into rolling back into him and maybe trying to catch him with that. But
But he's a little bit loose there.
yes, he is.
And he did a good job of coming back up and
Sucked
catching.
that leg in.
And Johnston's doing a nice job of moving
He's
forward.
been warned for stalling,
Yep,
so
he's
he
coming up.
can't hang down there much. Referee is not going to call. He called him.
There's one here.
Yeah, I don't think
Stalling.
I don't think that's a good call. If you look at that, I mean, what more can you do?
Well, you can.
It's a good call if you're Joe Johnston, obviously.
No,
you know.
what you do there is you got to let him go, because if you give up a stall warning, it's 1 point.
You
So
answered my question.
yeah, you got
That's
to let
what
him
you
go. Yeah, because now if you give up another escape, it's just you get 2.
Because you're telling me he was in a position he couldn't win because
Cut bait.
of the situation.
Cut your losses.
Go. Go ahead, partner.
Not so sure the rule's correct there.
Right.
When one guy's really doing the movement, and if you do let go, you have to lose him. You shouldn't have to lose
Right.
anybody, but at the same time, he's gonna, he gives himself a chance to put himself back in the match right here. You can't afford another stall. Down. The thing is, he's got riding time. He's gonna have to take him to his back for at least a 2-2 to get a tie. And Paulson's being smart.
Wow.
Paulson caught Johnston thinking he was the only man with the offense, and was not when he was there. Look at this.
He's got plenty of room to score here.
He's
Gonna
not
ride
gonna
him
score,
off.
though.
Yep. But boy, I tell you what, I like what Trent Paulson's done here.
Well,
got on the offense here with the lead against the returning runner-up. That's pretty impressive.
Turn the tide here for the Cyclones to give them a little bit of a...
And with riding time, extended his victory totally, beating 4-0 last time. Now it's with riding time
8-3.
8-3. So a 5-point victory for Paulson this time. Gives 3 more points for the Cyclones. Makes the score after 157 pounds. Hawkeyes 13, Cyclones 6.